into the midst of the sea. Yeah. So through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Yeah. Through it all, my eyes are on you. So it is well. It is well. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. So let go, my soul, and trust in Him. The waves and wind still know His name. The waves and wind still know His name. So we can say, it is well with my soul. Yeah. It is well with my soul. Oh, it is well with my soul. Oh, it is well. It is well with my soul. Yes. Oh, it is well. It's well with my soul. Oh, because of you, Lord, it is well with my soul. No matter what comes, I can say it is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well. It is well with my soul. Yeah. All because of you. All because of you. So through it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you. So it is well with me. Oh, yes, it's well it all, my eyes are on you. Through it all, it is well. Through it all, my eyes are on you. So it is well with me. Oh yes, it's well because of you.
Well, hello, New Beginnings family. Thank you for joining us again for our virtual New Beginnings. This is week 4 in our in-house series, and each week we have been featured in different homes from families in our church. Week 1 was the McNeil family. Week 2 was the Ariano family. Last week we were in the Pinto house, and today we are in Casa de King. And we are so excited to be here. We have been doing a watch party at the house over the last couple weeks, and it's been fun to be here doing that. We've actually been here every Sunday doing service, watching service, commenting with people, and we want to say thank you for everyone who has joined us each week, whether it's been on our YouTube page or our Facebook page. This has been different, but it's been a lot of fun, and so we're going to get started today, and Vanessa, start us off with some questions.
Well, just first thing, some of y'all may not know, but this is my parents' house.
Yeah.
This is my parents, right?
Yep.
So you may not know that, but so it's super cool that we're here in my parents' house because it's Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all of you dads. Happy Father's Day to my dad. I love him. He's the best. So y'all might say your dad's the best, but it's not true. My dad's the best. So happy Father's Day to my dad. And then just this last week on Tuesday was my mom's birthday.
Yeah.
So this is a busy week for all of us. So happy birthday.
30th birthday.
Yes,
So
yes.
amazing.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just a wee baby. Yeah. And then
And then yesterday
yeah.
was our 22nd wedding anniversary.
Ooh,
So
yay, 222.
can't believe she put up with me this long.
Me either. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so it's a busy week. It's a great day to be with our church family and be in my parents' home. We're just excited for that. And so in this series, we've been kind of talking about like what quarantine has looked like and how it's looked like different for everyone. Some of us are working, some of us are staying home, some of us have to keep going out into the public. So we're just kind of figuring out like what has gone on in people's lives during quarantine.
Over the last 12 or 13 weeks.
Yeah. So Dad, for you, what has kind of been the quarantine schedule? How have things changed or stayed the same?
Well, from the beginning, early on, 12 weeks ago, my group was told that we should be working from home.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been doing that essentially. However, at the same time, the granddaughters were still trying to do schooling.
Right.
So they were coming every day to the house because of the internet connection, then doing their schooling here. And so this house isn't designed to have 4
Yeah.
people trying to do
All using
work
internet,
from
yeah.
home.
Right,
So
right.
so anyway, I've been I went over to the church and was using the internet connection there. I've been doing that for the last 12 weeks.
Yeah, set up a little office upstairs in the kids' church room. Had
All to
quiet.
himself.
Yeah, so you could just, and the internet there is not always the best
Got
either.
my snacks and my coffee and
Snacks.
He's
and
got a
everything.
refrigerator,
Yeah.
he's got a Keurig machine, he's got everything that
He
he
is
needs
set
up
up.
there.
Yeah, when we
So-
start having kids' church, he's not gonna know what to do. Yeah. So Mom, like Dad was saying, the girls have been coming here a lot for school because our internet at our house, more in the mountains, is a little too slow for some of that. So what was your quarantine experience so far? What did that kind of look like with them being here? And-
So every day the girls would come,
Which she didn't
and-
care. She didn't mind
which
at all.
I was totally fine with. The first thing we did was get breakfast. We had to make sure we had something to eat.
Yeah.
But then I got to help with homeschooling,
Yes.
which is something I've never experienced, something
Yeah.
I've never done before.
Yeah.
But it was kind of fun. It was kind of cool to get to experience that and especially help Cadence with her homeschooling. But
Yeah, that was a huge help for me, and so thank you, Mom,
yeah,
for
it was
pouring
fun.
into them and helping them, because sometimes I was still needing to do work, church stuff, and everything too, so I couldn't always be here all the time. So having my parents here from the beginning. Some of you may not fully know the story, but when we first came here in 2008, we came here from Rio Ranchos at the church, and it's a small church, a rebuilding process, and my parents came and really were some of the key reasons of why our church is where it's at.
I agree.
In the beginning, our girls were the kids. They were the kids at the church pretty much. So Treya was kids church, and Cadence was the nursery. And my dad was our first nursery worker.
He was our nursery worker.
Because he watched Cadence. And my mom did kids church, and her and Treya would get in there and pray every Sunday for kids. And they would pray that kids would come, and my mom would prepare a lesson every single week and be ready for the kids that she knew were going to come.
Yeah. If it wasn't for Treya,
Yeah.
it was for whoever would come.
Yeah, and she prepared it like they were going to come. So as soon as our church started growing, as soon as kids started coming, we were ready for them because of my mom. And my dad continued to do nursery for a little bit when more babies started coming, but pretty quick when we got more than Cadence, he was like, I'm done, with nursery, not because he didn't want to serve, he just, was hoping someone else would step up, and they did. But we were so thankful for that, because a lot of pastors, when they start in a small church, what normally would have probably happened is I would have led worship, we would have had all the kids in there, and then I would have been, kids, let's go to kids church, and I would have done kids church, and he would have been preaching, and that's fine, but we were able to really do what we're gifted to do because my mom and dad were willing to come, and they were traveling back and forth from Albuquerque to make that happen, and slowly transition to moving here and stuff. But really, our church and our kids program and our church, the growth is a lot of because of our kids program, and that was established early on. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for being willing to help us, support us.
And you've been doing kids ministry for a couple of years now, right?
Just a few.
Yeah.
She thought she'd retired.
Yeah, I tried to retire. Probably about 33 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now we have Pastor Lizzie here helping her out, so that's awesome. And they do it together, and they're an incredible team to just continue building on the foundation that Mom started here. So yeah, that was kind of a quick little version of. But our church is where it's at, a lot because of these two right here.
Yeah, JK serves on our advisory board and helps us with the area of finances. That is his strength, not my strength. I'm good at spending money and good at raising money, but JK really helps us with a lot of the management side of it, and so we're thankful for that. That's one thing that I don't have to really worry about or think about a lot, especially knowing that we have somebody who that is their strength and they're really good at it. So we're blessed to have both of you on our team and in our family and serving alongside us and serving us, really serving our church and serving us as your pastors. And so I want to say thank you for putting up with me. Because I can be difficult. You may not know that, but I can be difficult. So as we kind of endeavored through this quarantine process, this quarantine's kind of affected our family directly. Mom, you want to kind of speak to that, kind of how this whole thing and the kind of the obstacle that our family's been working with Granny.
I'll try.
Okay.
The week before the actual
shutdown,
whatever we want to call it, my mom passed away. So then we're in the process of trying to, can we do a funeral? Do we not do a funeral? Do we have to do that later? We can't be together, but we need to be together. It was just very difficult. It was very hard in going through the grieving while dealing with the emotion of the pandemic and all of the stuff that was going on with that. So it just made it very difficult to figure out how to move forward. But God was faithful. God was with us, and He helped us work through it, and He made some things happen that, we didn't know how they were going to happen, but God made a way. But it's made me very aware of what a lot of other people are going through during this time with with family that's in nursing homes or that's in hospitals and you can't go visit them, and so it's allowed me to pray for them
Sure.
in a way that I wouldn't have understood to pray for them otherwise, because I knew what they were facing,
Yeah.
what they were going through. So
Yeah.
but God was there.
So many of our situations, we think we're the only ones that are going through it.
Yeah.
And until we have gone through something like this, it's hard for us to relate
Yeah.
to others that might be going through
Yeah.
it. And I know in my life, there are things that I was exposed to, things that I've experienced that have equipped me to minister to people in a way that if I hadn't gone through it, I would be clueless. And even some of our upbringing, some of my rough upbringing and exposure of the world and the lifestyle of drugs and alcohol
From his family.
from my family allowed me to kind of have a little bit of an awareness to what that is. And you didn't have a lot of that, and so
No.
but you had the other side. You had the legacy of a family who's been in ministry and
Who just loves God. I have, in my church, in my family heritage, there's some pastors and ministers, but ultimately there's just people that loved God with all their heart, and they served their church, and they served in their church, whether they had a specific title or role, they were just committed to their church and serving. And that is the legacy that I have to build on, just people. And again, there are pastors, and that's amazing, but it's just full of people, not perfect people at all, people that made mistakes, but I am thankful for the heritage I have. I'm thankful for the foundation that was laid before me, that prepared the way for me to stand. And everything, a lot of what I do now, I know it's because of the prayers of my granny and papa and my grandma and grandpa King and aunts and uncles and people that pray for me. Like, without those prayers, I would not be where I am.
yeah, we believe in the power of prayer. In fact, last Sunday night we had about 20 people that showed up to the church and joined us for an evening in prayer, and it was a great
Really
evening.
good.
Hopefully you were able to join us in your home, for those of you that weren't able to make it or whatever.
Right.
But we believe in unity. We believe in the power of prayer. In fact, right now we're in the middle of a Bible study talking about unity.
Yeah.
And I know it's been really, really good so far. I shared some comments on yesterday's thing that then today's devotion was kind of right in line with what I shared yesterday. And so we believe in unity. We believe in the power of prayer, and we're praying for our church, praying for people in our church. And I know, Mom, you've been praying for people. We have people in our church that they have a family that they're in nursing home situations, or they have elderly family members, and kind of dealing with that. You can relate to that, what that whole lifestyle is about, and the obstacles of putting a family member in a nursing home and what that looks like. And so you can relate to that in that way.
Right. Well, one thing too, I know that my mom has done during quarantine has really been intentional about reaching out to people and just seeing if they're doing okay, touching base with them, she has lists she goes through and make sure people are okay. How are you doing? And that's, to me, that she does that as, yes, she's one of our kids' pastors, but she's also just a member of the church family, and she cares about her church family, and she's just wanting to make sure everybody's okay. And so I love that. So, Mom, a little bit, how do you think about, or how do you know who to maybe send a text to, or who to reach out to, or who to pray for? How does that work for you?
A lot of times I just depend on God to let me know. And if somebody comes to my mind, I don't just assume that, oh, I'm just thinking about that person.
Yes.
There's a reason I'm thinking about that
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
They're needing something that day. They're just needing somebody to know that somebody's thinking about them or praying for them. So
The
if
Holy,
somebody,
the Holy Spirit
the Holy
drops
Spirit,
those
yes.
people's thoughts
yes,
into your
if somebody comes to my mind, I don't just dismiss it. I don't just like, oh, I miss them today.
Yeah.
I send a text, I make a phone call, a FaceTime, something,
Yes.
some kind of contact.
Mhm.
And it doesn't take long, it doesn't
Right.
take a lot, it's very simple. But a lot of times I get a response back, I needed that today.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you know?
Mhm.
But God knew.
Yes.
God knew they needed something
Yeah.
that day. So
And I love that idea of just, if someone pops in your head, don't just dismiss it as, well, that was weird that I thought about that person. Like, God, that's how God speaks.
there's a reason.
He often is not audible voice, but he drops things in our spirit, in our
Yeah.
heart, in our mind, people or a situation. And I love that you're attentive to that, and when that happens, you don't just dismiss it. You say, and with technology today, it's so easy to send a quick text, and
Sure.
it can go beyond that if you want it to. You can call them, but you can just send a text to start it. And so just that little, and you never know the impact or the difference you'll make in someone's life by listening to the Holy Spirit.
That's so good. That's so good. Glad that we're able to kind of share that personal experience that we've dealt with as a family, and hopefully it's helping others. And so I would just encourage you, if somebody comes to your mind, to reach out to them. Don't just put it as, just, oh, wow, that's weird, but to reach out to them and see what God does through that for them. And then also for you, he will speak to you in those situations. So Dad, what are some things over the last 12 weeks that maybe God's been speaking to you, God's revealed to you, that could be an encouragement to our church, to our family?
I think the confidence that says that it's going to be okay. I think there's for early on in the trial there was Satan attempted to give us a spirit of fear, even amongst the church people. That and you could tell that, well, we didn't know what was going to happen. We were unaware of what the future was going to hold, and so I think when I realized that even myself, that kind of thing that Satan was going to try to bring that against me also, that if he would try that with me, then he'll try it with any of us. That any of us could be attacked with that fear. And I was so grateful when I realized that as we were moving through it, that God still brought an area of peace to my life, just like he had all the other times that I had come against things in my life that I felt I didn't have control over, things I felt like were Satan was using things against me to try to tear me down. But I sensed and came through with the peace. I've always loved the peace that we can have because we're Christians, and because God's word says that he is going to provide us the peace. That we have confidence in him, that no matter what happens, that he's in charge, he's in control, and that we can always stand on his word, his promise, and there's no real need to fear. Now, I understand fear. I understand how people would feel that way, because Satan would try to use that against me also. But I'm grateful to the Lord for the confidence that he gives us, and that he is able to take us through. And again, in this time frame, the last 12 weeks, I confess that I haven't suffered the fear that many have, and I'm so grateful to the Lord because of the experience that I had in the past, that he always brought me through, and I'm so grateful for that.
So good. Mom, would you say that that there's peace in Granny's body?
Oh yeah. And she didn't have to go through the pandemic.
That's right.
She didn't have to deal with all of that. She just went to heaven and moved on.
We've talked about that sometimes, how it was hard losing her, but she was already in a nursing home. She was already struggling some with her mind, and things were were kind of shutting down already, but so she wasn't being able to fully live life how she would maybe want to. She was doing, she was okay, but how gracious God was, we're also thankful that, because she wouldn't have understood this season, this time. She would have been really confused why she wasn't getting visitors, why my Aunt Arlene wasn't able to see her as much, or that would have been really hard. So I think, God knew that he was going to maybe take her pretty soon anyway, so why not go ahead and take her and let her be with my papa and my cousin Keith and my Aunt Belinda and so many others, that they're up there together and they're whole and happy and well.
I think our message for our church family this week is that we can trust in God, and that ultimately he's the one who our hope is in, and he will provide the peace that you need in every season that you're going through. So I don't know what you're going through today. I don't know what fear or anxiety you might be dealing with, but I can tell you this, that you can trust in God. You can give your cares and your burdens to him, and he will provide a way. He will bring ultimate peace, and far greater peace than we could bring upon ourselves or we could even think of.
Yeah, and what's so amazing, I don't know if you put this together yet in this video, but the 2 songs we started with for worship were all about peace and all about, we sang Peace Be Still was the first song, and the second song is It Is Well. And we had not, I set the worship list out a few days ago. We hadn't talked prior to what was going to come out of this conversation. So God is working right now in this moment for you. And he, like Sean said, he's speaking peace to you. And some of you might be struggling with it because of the pandemic. It might be because of other things, family situations, whatever. It could be a vast array of issues going on right now in our world and in us personally. But God is intentionally speaking peace to your life today. So I pray that and hope that you would receive that from him, that you would look to him for that, because that is the word that he's saying. You can trust me and I will give you my peace if you will trust me, if you'll release control maybe of some things and allow him to be God in your life. That's what he's saying to you today without us having a plan. He had a plan today from the beginning of the service from the beginning to the end. He had a plan to speak to you today. So receive that word.
Wherever you're at, whatever you might feel like you're all alone, but you're not.
Yes.
We are here with you. God is with you. And we have prayer partners that they want to pray with you. They not only want to pray for you, they want to pray with you. And so I want to encourage you right now to go over to our Facebook page, our New Beginnings Prayer Partners. We want to pray with you personally and agree for God's favor and God's peace over your life. And we're so glad that you joined us today.
Father's Day.
We are looking forward to our gathering day, which is going to be July 12th. Everybody say July 12th. Not June, not
That's already
August, not September, but July 12th is going to be our gathering, our first live gathering, and we hope that you will be with us. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And you can see us today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can.
I just don't want us to forget to say that.
That's
From 2 to 3 o'clock today, we're going to be at the church. We're going to be passing out Italian ice popsicles. Just something fun for Father's Day. We just want to see you and say hello.
What's your
quick.
favorite Italian ice color?
The white one, but I don't know what flavor it is.
Okay, and mine is the green, the melon. I like the melon.
Do y'all have? Yeah, you guys have the Italian ice in our house.
I just like them all.
They're all pretty yummy.
They are really
all
good.
yummy. So for Father, we just wanted to do something fun and see you for a minute. So if you want to just drive by the church anytime from 2 to 3, you can stay and chat long or short, whatever.
And do we have the shirts? We have shirts? We don't know. We might.
Hopefully.
We don't know if we're going to have them.
That's why I'm talking.
Oh, sorry. We don't know if we're going to have them.
I'll put in the chat, because we record this prior. I'll put in the chat right now if we have the shirts or not in, because
The
it's
plan
not
is
Friday or
if you
Saturday
ordered a
yet.
shirt, we might have them.
That was the hope, so I
Oh,
hope so, and it
okay.
should be, but because of all the stuff, sometimes things are delayed with shipments. and
Regardless,
stuff, so.
we will have Italian ices.
We
and
have
we
that.
want to see you. So
Yeah.
come by the church,
Yeah.
and we're excited to be able to do that. We
Yes.
love you
Yeah.
so very much. Thank you for joining us today. God bless you.
We
and,
have a special treat for the dads right after this.
Oh, yeah, so don't
So-
tune out.
Don't leave yet,
Okay.
but we love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Thor. Iron Man. Because he's like super strong and he carries us everywhere. You know, Iron Man can be cool.
Star-Lord because he's weird and funny.
If my daddy was a superhero, he would be a superhero that would save people from tornadoes and hurricanes. Superman. Superman.
He'd be Fix-It-Man, because he can fix anything.
Then he would be Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is smart. Doctor Strange always gets hurt. And Doctor Strange and my dad has the same beard and the same haircut as Doctor ready. Woohoo!
He would probably be Thor because of the electricity. He works with electricity. He is very strong and he never cuts his beard.
If my dad were a superhero, he'd be Iron Man because he's strong and he's an engineer and he fixes things and makes things.
Robin. You would be Robin. Iron Man.
Sure.
Oh, thank you.
Probably Thor because he would probably be worth
Cool. Okay.
He would probably be a superhero that saves people. Batman, because he only works alone.
Okay.
If my dad was a superhero, he would be Batman because he has lots of cool gadgets.
My dad would be the Hulk. Because he's really big and muscular.
And he turns green.
My dad was a superhero, he'd be Captain America because everyone loves Captain America. And he's strong, resilient, and will do anything to protect the people he loves.
If my dad was a superhero, he'd be Captain America because he has endurance to go through anything, and he's always there for me like Captain America is for his friends.
To answer the question, what superhero would my dad be? Honestly, he wouldn't be one. Because superheroes are always seen as helping everyone else and always letting down the people that are closest to them. And that's not my dad. My dad's able to help everyone and always be there when I need it.
Love you, Dad.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, Dad. Yeah. I love you, Daddy.
We love you, Dad.
Love you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you, Dad.
Merry Christmas, Dad. We love you.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, Daddy.
We love you, Daddy.